All right, well, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. This is a solo ep. Don't have a host on this one. This one I just kind of want to talk about some things that have been going on, and on the pod and what's next for the future. And I just want to thank everybody again for not only for joining in this episode, but for joining in like every episode until here. 10 episodes already. Hitting the double-digit mark is a big milestone. I thought 5 episodes was huge, and now doubling, like using the meme doubling, give it to the next person. Just double twice as much. It's just crazy. And thank you to all the amazing people who've made this possible. All my guests, all my supporters. Again, Mikey for donating and giving me part of the equipment, which I still use to this day. Shout out Mikey for that. And just every single guest, like I've said before. Just so many great memories and great stories that they have told on the pod. And but anyways, I wanted to answer a couple questions that I asked on Instagram, and also have some questions that I came up myself when reading over those who'd submitted a question. Thank you again for submitting those questions. And one of them, so why did I start the pod? And kind of answered this on my first episode with Mikey again. And it was kind of because I knew I could do something that I've wanted to do for a while. Something that I thought looked pretty simple, pretty easy. And on the surface level, it kind of is. But there's a lot more that I have learned over this last year and a bit that I've been producing this podcast. And something that surprised me would be like the planning that goes behind it. I've noticed that episodes that I've planned more carefully and that I've put more intention into making the questions and setting up the actual date for the recording, and just like the conversations that I have prior with the guest, either that's text or like a few moments before we hit record, are very important to like set that mood and make them comfortable while like speaking into a microphone. It could be sometimes very scary, and that's 100% understandable, because even though you're just talking to one person, which would be me, there's 50 people that are listening to our conversation, and so that could be tough to kind of wrap your head around sometimes, because imagine you talking to 50 people and they're all listening to you. It's more of a speech. So stage fright is kind of like a real thing in something like this, from what I've had as feedback from my guests and from myself as well. And that's something that I also wanted to do, because I've always as a kid had somewhat of stage fright, and I freeze and I tend to sweat a lot when when I put into situations like this, even like going up to like supermarket and like, or like the doctor, for example, where like your mom always does it and now you're an adult and you have to do it, something like that. So it's like, it's just like a challenge, but it's amazing so far. So that would be like the most challenging and what surprised me. But like the hardest part as well would be kind of planning everything as well. Not necessarily making the actual content and planning the content, but finalizing an episode and like reaching out and convincing somebody, or there's people that have come to me and they've been really excited and wanted it, which is great, which makes my job really easy. And there's a couple of those that are coming up in this next couple of episodes, people that have reached out, and again, I encourage, if anybody that wants to be on the pod, just hit me up, like send me a text message over a DM on Instagram, or if you have my phone number, or if you see me in person, just let me know. Or even if you don't want to be on the pod, but just have feedback, either positive or negative, just say it. Like it's amazing, and it helps. It goes a long way. One of the funniest moments I can think about while doing this would probably have to be maybe it's not on tape, but the conversations we had before with Jomi were pretty funny. At least I found him funny because he was still like somewhat asleep when we met together. If you don't know why, you should probably go listen to that pod. Um, Across oceans and octaves. I'm actually not sure how to say that, to be honest. But that one's just funny. And there's some laughs involved, but I found it funny because he was just like so asleep. He was laying down on his couch, and it was just really funny to see him there, kind of struggle to get through it. And I thank Jomi for pushing through and kind of getting that done. What's another funny moment that I can't remember? Jeez, I can't even speak. It's been a long day, guys. I got back from work, and I did a little bit of work on my computer, for the pod and for something else as well. And it is currently almost 9. So I gotta get some dinner after this. I don't know what to have for dinner actually. But I'm trying to think what other funny moments. We had some really good laughs with Alaska. That's probably one of my favorite ones that I've made so far. It's a really good conversation, and talking about Banff afterwards was really funny as well. After having like such a serious conversation with Daleska, and then just laughing about her trip to Banff with her sister, that was really funny. I mean, all episodes have their funny moments. That's just it, and that's the point, for them to be serious but also engaging, and yeah, just bring comedy into situations like this. And I feel like I'm a pretty comedic guy. I laugh at a bunch of things that I shouldn't laugh at. I find myself at work laughing at things that are somewhat serious, but I find them funny. I don't know why. And like, I'm not saying that I find things that are bad funny. I just find things that are like curious funny, or that are interesting, that I've never seen before, and like people are taking sometimes serious, and then I try to line up the mood by a chuckle. And one of my coworkers said that a couple of weeks ago. He was kind of struggling. I saw him struggling at his desk, and I kind of laughed, and not I was not laughing at him, but I was just laughing because things were funny. And so he said that, like, yeah, it's like, it's cheerful to have somebody around like that, or like kind of personality hires, and like that goes a long way as well with me when I'm struggling and I'm stressed, and whatever, my coworkers come and like drop a joke, or just being silly and funny. Maybe not silly, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't know, I can't think of any more, but they're all funny. You should go check them out if you haven't. A guest that I've enjoyed the most, like I said, Daleska would be a really good one. Jomi would be a funny one. Noah's was really nice. His place is very nice, and it was like a really cool vibe. His living room, I really like that, especially because he's made a bunch of furniture. That's in his living room. So it was nice to be talking about his job and his craft, and actually visualizing it and using it. That was really cool. As well as Chanson's basement, talking about music and his career as a musician, and yeah, just life. And you can see it all around his basement with a bunch of guitars and equipment. And yeah, that was pretty cool to see. So yeah. Speaking about like your environment, this episode I was looking to record. When was it? This Sunday? Yeah, this Sunday I went. No, wait, hold on. What? 2 Sundays ago. Sorry, I went golfing with Noah. Not the same Noah, different Noah Abbott. And I was like, I don't have anything. I didn't have somebody lined up. So I was thinking already of doing like a solo pod, and then him and I were like, let's go golfing. And so I was like, yeah, let's go. Anyways, we tried to play 18. We only played 9 because we got rained out. So it was like a really bad day to be recording. And like golf was like okay. I wasn't playing that great. I played better than my second time. I don't remember how many pars I had. I didn't have any birdies that day. But I maybe had 2 or 3 pars. The rest bogeys. Maybe 1 or 2 double bogeys. But it's just wet. It was raining, so I didn't want to even get my phone out to even record, and we were just kind of cold, both of us. And like I said, it rained, so we only ended up playing 9. So, I mean, that's kind of funny as well. And yeah. What else? What I want the podcast to become. That's another question that I came up with. Really, I don't have a lot of plans. Like I didn't really plan ahead to begin with starting this podcast. I kind of just I don't necessarily want to grow it and getting more people to listen to it. I don't want to grow it in that sense. I want to grow it and getting more people to share their story and to share what they do and what they do it, and if they have funny and like interesting life stories, and also like what is it called? Like when you have like a good story and you can share it. Not like a funny story, but like what is it called? Encouraging story? Yeah, I guess you could say something like that. I know you're thinking about the word that I'm trying to say. So like you say it, the listener say it. So yeah, something like that, and grow it that way. Yeah, just trying to get more people on the pod. It's nice to see the numbers go up. Like, I won't lie, it is nice to like see, oh, there's more people that are listening to the podcast. And that's not always true. Some episodes don't get a lot of listens, which is fine, because again, not episode is for everybody. So you might listen to the first 10 minutes and you'd be like, okay, I'm not really interested in this topic, which is fine. And that's why I want to have a diverse podcast, and I want to keep doing this kind of diverse podcast where I interview and I have conversations with people from every aspect of life. So that's maybe that when I grow it into. Maybe have people that I've never had on the pod from a different part of an industry or whatever. That would be kind of nice. Kind of nice. Biggest thing I've improved since episode 1. Actually, not a lot has improved. I want to say that first episode was probably the best recorded, like from like an audio standpoint. Mikey did an amazing job. I've been kind of struggling on like getting like the production side of things, like for audio at least. I feel like I've been doing a great job, but I mean, I don't know. I listen to podcasts in the car where there's like a okay sound system. I don't really listen to my podcast ever to begin with, and though, like I said, the only times that I've listened to it is when I'm editing it out on my laptop, and then the other time would be like once or twice in the car that I listened to one of my first episodes. So I don't know how it sounds on headphones. I don't know if you have to put the volume up a little bit or quite a bit, or if it's like too loud, so you have to lower it for a bit. So let me know about that. Just drop a comment on this podcast, or tell me in person, or again send a DM. That helps me. So yeah, not a lot has improved. I guess I would say my technical ability to kind of engage with my host would be better. At the beginning, I wasn't sure what I was doing. I'm still not, but I've learned a little bit. Kind of coming up with questions on the spot, I would say that's a good one as well. And in general, also coming up with better questions. Sometimes I reuse a question because it's a general question, but it leads to a specific answer, or I know that a guest would have a really good answer to this question from what I've known about them. So something like that. That's something that I've improved since episode 1. An episode idea that failed or was never published. Actually, this is a good, like I said, the one from the golf course, which was never shot to begin with. It was actually scrapped right as soon as we rolled up to the golf course. I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to mention it to Noah. So Noah doesn't even know this. So he'll find out from this if he listens to it. But an episode that we did record that almost went 2 hours was with Adam Weeb. So Adam, thank you so much for agreeing to being on the pod, but you never were, or you haven't yet. The offer is still open. But we recorded for almost 2 hours for me to get home and find out that that I didn't really record anything. There was recording, but it was recording out of my laptop speakers, which was sitting on a coffee table, and we were both sitting like on the couch normally. So it was like very distant, and it was very bad. And so the microphones that I have were used for nothing, that recording. And it was 2 hours of recording. And it was, I mean, if you know Adam, you know how good of a guy that is just talking about really anything. So it was gold that I lost. And I regret it. And like I said, I want to get Adam back on the podcast whenever he wants. Because that's a really fun one that I feel like a lot of people will listen to and enjoy. I know I will enjoy personally a lot, because I did the first time. So that's something that failed. That's probably my biggest failure to date. I haven't lost a recording since. And like I said, I haven't done a great job with some recordings, and I've kind of cheated my way around it with a little bit of editing and like audio tuning, because I don't cut a lot of things, or if anything, actually I haven't cut. I think I've cut like once or twice, but just because it was silent for so long. Maybe this one when I'm speaking, there's going to be a couple cuts when I'm thinking of what to say. So yeah, that would be it. Okay, and now we have the questions from the Instagram stories. I got 3 good questions that I want to go over. The first one is from Tegan. I believe this one was from you, and it's, when do we get to see Ryan? I don't want to mispronounce his name because I actually never said it before, but it's Hildebrandt. That would be a good one, actually. I've never thought about having Ryan on the podcast. That would be nice to have him. Yeah, I don't know. That would be similar to, I guess, Jomi's and Chanson's. But like, again, everybody's very different. Everybody has their own story. And it's kind of nice also not knowing somebody fully. Like, because like with Jomi and Chanson, I've known him for a while. But Ryan, I haven't really known him for that long. And we don't really talk outside of Collide and Inside Out. So yeah, it's nice to come to a conversation with like just like an open mind, and not only trying to have good conversation and trying to get good answers, but also learn a lot about the person that you're interviewing. So yeah, Ryan, you hopefully see Ryan on the pod soon. Ryan, if you're listening to, please send a DM and let me know what your schedule looks like. We can get something. Next one's from Jacob or Jacobo. Shout out to this guy. I haven't talked to him in a while, bro. I hope you're doing good in Spain. Yeah, I've seen a couple of things on Instagram. I've seen you have a band, or you're part of a band. That's so cool. And he says Habs in 5. Of course, Habs in 5, bro. Living in Canada, this is like the only thing we have going for us after the Oilers couldn't do it. And a lot of people, I've told this to a lot of people, because they're like, oh, who do you got, like at the beginning when the playoffs had just started? It's like, who do you got winning the entire thing? Or like, what Canadian team are you rooting for? Because there were 3. Yeah, there'd be the Oilers, the Canadians, and then there were the Senators. And there's 2 teams that I don't like that are Canadian. Obviously, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nobody likes them. And then I don't really mind the Senators, except for the fact that Tkachuk is there and he's their captain. I'm just not a fan of the Tkachuk brothers at all. Never have been. Probably never will. So he would be like the only downside that I have from him. Oh my gosh, I just saw Mark Scheifele lay out. I don't know who that is. This is in the 2021 playoffs. I'm actually watching the game. That's why. And they're doing a throwback to when Mark Scheifele literally flattened one of the Habs. But no, yeah, Habs in 5 every single round. Jake Dobes, I think his name's Jake. He's been an amazing goaltender for such a young guy, and his backup is also pretty good. And yeah, I'm rooting for them. I know Vegas is just destroying the Avalanche right now. They're 3-0 in the series, and I don't really see them coming from this, like coming back and winning the series. It's going to be really tough. Winning 4 games straight is insane. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not likely. So Vegas against Montreal for the Stanley Cup Finals, I see Montreal having a really good chance, and so that makes me really happy. So yeah, go Habs. And then the last one comes from Peter, or yeah, just from Peter. He says, "Is the Earth flat or round?" I mean, from what I know, it's round. Well, it's not really round. There's a specific shape for it. Actually, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. Where's my Here, I'm just gonna look it on this computer. Bear with me. What shape is the Earth? Okay, so it says the Earth is not a perfect sphere. This is from AI Overview, by the way. So, but rather an oblate spheroid or oblate ellipsoid. There you go. Which means the planet is highly flattened at the north and south poles and bulges at the equator due to centrifugal force from its rotation. How fast is the Earth spinning? Like, how fast are you moving? If you stop right now, it stop. If you're driving, which actually most people, I feel like most people that are listening to me are driving, because that's what I do when I drive. I don't listen to podcasts when I'm like at home or whatever. I'll listen to podcasts mostly when I'm driving, sometimes when I'm at work, but mostly when I'm driving. So like, if you weren't driving, in the case that you were driving, if you were staying still like I am while recording this podcast, you would be traveling. Actually, hold on, it doesn't say. Hold on, bear with me again. What is the speed of Earth? Oh, shoot. Yeah, if you're standing still or sitting still or laying down still, I don't know, whatever you're doing, just still, you're going at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, which is 1,038 miles per hour, which is insane. So is the Earth round or flat? I mean, from what Google says, it's neither, but it is more round than flat. But my suggestion to not only Peter, but everybody is to go find out. Grab a plane and find out. Go travel to somewhere would be like random, like Australia. Australia would be a really good trip. I feel like it's not for everybody, but I feel like everybody should go to like that side of the world, or vice versa. It's like if you lived in Australia your entire life, you should come to like America, or and when I say America, I mean the continent, not the country, because that's the United States of America. Let's be clear. Or like Europe, you know, like, so, or like even Africa, bro. Africa would be really cool. I feel like I would go to Africa for sure if I had the chance. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. Again, I want to thank everybody for listening to these last these last 9 episodes. Thank you for listening to this episode. Again, shout out to everybody who's been on the pod. Shout out to everybody who's commented. Shout out to everybody who is just been a supporter of this little project that I have going on. And yeah, I have hopefully big plans in the future for this next couple of episodes. There might be some things coming up on the Instagram as promotion for announcing new pods or like doing something that I've done. Maybe some new cooking recipes. I don't know if anybody enjoyed the one that I did last. It was good. It didn't look very great from now that I look back at it. I didn't look back. I remember it. It didn't look great, but it tasted really good. There was a lot of lettuce, but I like it lettuce heavy. So I guess you can kind of quantify how much lettuce you want to put into it. But yeah, that's it for me. And I hope you have a great week. If you're listening to this at the beginning of the week, have a great week. If you're listening to it in the middle of the week, hopefully you push through. And if you're listening it at the end of your week, then enjoy it before Monday comes, because Monday is always around the corner.